Okay, let's talk about that black screen with the blinking cursor, the terminal. Yeah, it can look a little scary at first, right? But trust me, it's one of the most powerful tools you can possibly learn. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and turn that cryptic prompt into your own personal command center.
So, here's the game plan. We'll start with the absolute basics, then we'll learn how to navigate your system, manage your files, understand the rules of the road with permissions, and for the grand finale, we'll cap it all off by building your very first program. Sound good? Awesome. Let's dive in. Okay, Section 1. Welcome to the shell. Before we start slinging commands left and right, we got to understand what the shell actually is and why it's such a huge deal for pretty much anyone who works with computers.
You know, most of us live our digital lives in a GUI, a graphical user interface. We're clicking on pretty icons, dragging windows around, you know the drill. The command line, the CLI, is totally different. It's all text. So why would you ever bother with that? Well, 3 big reasons: speed, automation, and just a ridiculous amount of control.
So what even is a shell? The best way to think about it is like a translator. It's a program, and its only job is to take the commands you type, figure out what you mean, and then tell the computer's operating system what to do. It's basically a direct hotline between you and the brains of the machine. Okay, this thing, user at hostname TMS, it looks like just a bunch of random symbols, but it's actually giving you a super quick status update. It's telling you, who am I? That's the user. Where am I? That little squiggly line, the tilde, means you're in your home folder. And am I the boss? The $sign means you're a regular user. Now, if you ever see a hashtag there instead, watch out, because that means you're the super admin with all the power.
Okay, so we know what that prompt is telling us. Now, let's figure out how to actually move around. We're going to explore your computer's file system. And to make this super easy to wrap your head around, we're going to use a really simple analogy.
Just picture this. Your entire computer is a giant school building. Seriously. Every single folder is a different room, and every file is just an object inside one of those rooms. If you can keep that picture in your head, navigating the whole system is going to feel totally natural. So, let's take a quick tour of this school. The bin directory? That's the utility closet, full of all the essential tools everyone needs. Etc. is kind of like the main control room, you know, where all the system-wide settings are kept. Home? Well, that's the dormitory. Every user gets their own private room for their stuff. And TMP? Think of that as the garage or a scratch pad. It's for temporary files that just get wiped clean whenever you restart. No matter how complicated they look, almost every command you'll ever type breaks down into this same simple pattern. First, you have the command itself. That's the action, like ls for list. Next, you might have an option, which changes how the command works, like -l for a long list with more details. And finally, the argument. That's what you want the command to work on. In this case, the documents folder. So just remember, action, how, and what. That's it.
To get started exploring, you only really need 3 commands. pwd asks, where am I right now? ls asks, show me what's in this room. And cd says, let's go to another room. With just these, you can get around. But let me give you 2 pro tips that will change your life. Seriously. First, the tab key is your best friend. Start typing a file name, hit tab, and the shell will finish it for you. It's magic. Second, use the up and down arrow keys. That lets you scroll through all the commands you've already typed. No more retyping the same thing over and over.
Okay, so we've had a nice walk around our digital school. We know where the rooms are. Now it's time to actually start moving things around, rearranging the furniture. In this section, we're going to get our hands on the essential tools for managing all your files and folders. Here's your core toolkit. Touch is how you create a brand new empty file. mkdir, make directory, is how you build a new folder, a new room. CP is your classic copy-paste. MV is for either moving something to a new room or just renaming it. And then there's RM. That's for throwing something in the trash, except it's permanent. So you want to peek inside a file and see what's in it, right? You've got 2 main tools. For short little files, like a quick note, use cat. It just spits the whole thing out onto your screen instantly. But for big files, like a giant log file or a whole book, you want to use less. It opens up this really nice reader mode so you can scroll up and down without flooding your whole terminal. Okay, listen up, because this is probably the most important thing to remember. The RM command is a danger zone. There is no trash can, there is no recycle bin in the shell. When you RM something, it is gone, forever, like poof, into the digital void. So you always want to double, maybe even triple check what you're about to delete.
Okay, now we're going to get into the security system of our school. We're talking about file permissions. These are the rules that control who gets to read stuff, who gets to change stuff, and who gets to run stuff. It's what keeps everything safe and sound.
So when you do that detailed list command, you see this thing pop up next to every file. r-x-r-r-x. At first glance, it just looks like a bunch of gibberish, right? A secret code.
So what in the world does this secret code mean? Well, let's crack it. It's actually way simpler than it looks.
The whole thing is read in chunks. That very first character just tells you what it is, a dash for a regular file or a D for a directory. Simple enough. Then you have 3 sets of 3. The first set is for the owner. That's you. It says what you can do. The second set is for the group. Think of that as your team. And the last set is for others, basically the rest of the world.
All right, now for a really cool trick. Instead of messing with all those letters, you can use numbers. It's just simple math. Read is worth 4 points, write is 2 points, and execute is 1 point. You just add them up. So if you want someone to have all the permissions, read, write, and execute, that's 4 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 7. This numeric system is like a universal shorthand. It's way faster to type, and you'll see these codes everywhere.
So this little math trick leads to a few super common recipes you'll use all the time. 755 is the classic for scripts and programs. It means you get full control and everyone else can read and run it. 644 is your go-to for regular text files. You can read and write and everyone else can just read it. And 600? That's for your secret stuff. Only you can read or write it. Total privacy.
All right, this is it. This is the moment we've been building up to. We're going to take everything we've just learned, creating files, understanding permissions, typing commands, and we're going to put it all together to build our very first actual script.
And believe it or not, it only takes 4 simple steps. Step 1, we create the file with touch. Step 2, we pop our code inside just using echo to print out a message. Step 3, and this is crucial, we have to make it runnable, so we use chmod to give it that execute permission. And finally, step 4, we run our script. That's it.
And boom, just like that, you did it. You literally just went from looking at a blinking cursor to writing and executing your very own program. You're not just a passenger anymore. You're in the driver's seat. You're a creator in the shell.
Look, this is really just the tip of the iceberg. The real magic of the shell is automation. Taking all those boring, repetitive things you have to do and squishing them down into a simple, one-line script that does it all for you. So, the question I want to leave you with is, now that you can build with commands, what's the first thing you're going to automate?